Part 337. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3361. So what is the test of this third level? Where's the enemy? Where's the opponent? Did you get lonely? Fang Fan's eyes scanned the surrounding area, and while talking, he subconsciously smacked his mouth. Forehead. Is this the legendary Welfare Bureau? I didn't expect this old disaster god to be quite good. Tisk, I don't know how many star cores this quasi-god bone can sell. Bai Piao rolled his eyes, and then looked at the spoils in Fang Fan's hands. I think it's better not to be careless. Maybe this is the conspiracy of the disaster god's underground palace. First give a sweet date, and then a wave of big sticks will come. If you can't hold it at that time, you may be crushed in an instant. This third level is equivalent to no difficulty, but it is very likely that the difficulty will suddenly increase in the fourth level. If we start to be self-satisfied because we passed the third level without pressure, we may be beaten back to our original shape when we reach the fourth level. Chu Ceci squinted her eyes, and her tone couldn't help but become hurried when she spoke. What was revealed at this moment were all her truest thoughts. It has to be said that this possibility does exist. You have lived in the disaster god's underground palace for a long time, do you know the tricks in it? Fang Fan turned his gaze to the keel whale, the battle pet he had just collected. In this team, he is the only native of the disaster god's underground palace. Ah! This, maybe, probably because the disaster god's underground palace has existed for too long, so the monsters arranged in the third level have already died of old age. Or is it because of the corrosion of the years that all the organs have failed? Forehead. Anyway, there are all possibilities. Keel whale height blinked, and then raised a possibility. Fang Fan nodded silently, and at this moment his eyes scanned the entire third level without thinking much. As soon as it comes, it will be safe, in short, don't panic. Speaking of which, it is a blessing to be able to pass the third level without loss and pressure, at least avoiding a lot of risks. No matter what, we still need to be more vigilant in the future. All come out with 12 points of energy, don't be careless in the slightest. Fang Fan snorted secretly, then licked his lips, and the light in his eyes gradually increased. Officially entered the fourth floor of the Calamity God's underground palace. Boom. Rumbling. Rumbling. Suddenly, one could clearly see flashes of lightning flashing inside. The power of lightning at the entrance of the fourth floor of the Calamity God's underground palace is not very strong, basically there is not much pressure, but the further you go inside, the higher the intensity of the lightning. It seems that if you are not careful, it will directly suppress you collapse. Walking less than 1/3 of the distance, for many people, has reached the limit. I can't do it. Whirring. I feel my whole body is numb now. Headache, chest pain, arm pain, everywhere. Gisha's teeth were chattering all the time, bead-sized beads of sweat fell down his forehead, and while he was talking, the pain on his face also increased. Gisha is only at the beginning stage of the 5-star sanctuary, and his physique is relatively not very strong, so it is not surprising to feel this way. At this moment, Fang Fan borrowed the combat power of a battle pet in the 7-star sanctuary realm, and felt difficult. Let alone reaching the end of the fourth hurdle now, I am afraid that even reaching the center line will not work. I'm sorry, I dragged everyone down. Feel sorry. Goisha wriggled his lips, and then sighed softly at the side. While talking at the moment, the corners of his mouth twitched subconsciously. It's too uncomfortable. This has nothing to do with you. We're all about. If we carry it hard, we won't be able to last long. Fang Fan let out a foul breath, and then shook his head. From a comprehensive point of view, it is very dangerous at this moment. If you are not careful, you may be directly implicated. It seemed a little irrational to continue to rush forward. Sooner or later, it will reach a limit, and then the whole body will collapse completely. The situation is very serious. Brother Fang Fan is right, this thunderbolt is not aimed at anyone, we are all caught in it. The fourth floor of the Disaster God's underground palace is a minefield. Everyone looks like it's hard to support, no. While Zhuoqiuyao was talking, his facial expression suddenly changed very real. This looks a bit out of place. His gaze was directly locked on Bai Biao. Brother Bai Biao, what's going on? Why do you seem to feel nothing at all? There is no response from the lightning strikes on your body. Hiss, am I blind? Why do I feel like this thunder and lightning are deliberately avoiding you? Zhou Qiuyao frowned, then glanced at Bai Biao, and was shocked. This looks very strange. What is this little lightning? Isn't this just like walking on flat ground? Why? I really don't understand why you are so uncomfortable. That's it? It's nothing. Bai Biao held his head high, and immediately floated away. This guy has such a personality, anyway, he can't blow it off, and if he blows it, he will definitely go away. It seems to be so. After I stood next to Brother Bai Biao, I felt that the power of the thunder and lightning was a little smaller. Brother Bai Biao, isn't your physique too weird? Even this thunderbolt has to give up 3 points. Gisha felt it for a while, and then couldn't help but tisk admiration. Fang Fan didn't notice Bai Biao's abnormality at first, but after everyone reminded him, the expression on Fang Fan's face changed accordingly. Interesting. Could it be because of Bai Biao's special physique? No, this guy was very afraid of thunder and lightning before. It's a god, the 6th class god Lei Gong. Before, Lei Gong, the 6th rank god in the list of gods, was conferred on Bai Biao. Fang Fan's eyes brightened, and he seemed to have slowly found some breakthrough points. Fang Fan directly checked the relevant attributes of Bai Biao's 6th rank god Lei Gong. Lei Gong, the 6th class god position, the exclusive artifact Haoshan Hammer. Owner, Bai Biao. God position special effect 1, thunder immunity immune to all lightning damage. God's special effect 2, sacred thunder can summon the divine thunder to attack the enemy once a day, and can attack the enemy's body and soul at the same time. The power depends on the spirit power of the thunder god. The cooldown period is 1 day. Shen Lei Tianxia, I have experienced this magical skill before, it is very strong, very strong. The current Bai Biao's performance can reach the level of Holy Master level combat power. As for thunder and lightning immunity, it has never been used before. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes secretly, thinking to himself, his eyes gradually became erratic. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3362. Immunity to lightning, as the name implies, is immune to all damage from lightning. The corner of Fang Fan's mouth raised slightly, and then he looked at Bai Biao meaningfully. Bai Biao suddenly felt a chill down his back. After grabbing him, he saw that Fang Fan had been staring at him. This scene was inexplicably weird. What do you want to do? Bai Biao shrank his neck, and subconsciously stepped back a few steps. With the experience he has accumulated over the years, Fang Fan is definitely not at ease. This look, this expression, is so real. Once upon a time, he was cheated countless times, and now he has been cheated with experience. What do I want to do? What can I do? Brother Bai Biao, are you a little too nervous? Relax, calm down. Fang Fan smiled and said calmly. Say something quickly. You're staring at me like that, I'm panicking. What the hell? I'm telling you, don't trick me. Bai Biao said in a not very sufficient tone. He is too difficult. How many times has he been cheated, and he has been cheated psychologically. That's it? I think this minefield should be a magic circle deployed. If it is a thunder formation, then there must be a formation I. Generally speaking, this formation I exists in the place where the power of thunder and lightning is the strongest. If Brother Bipiao can go deep into it and destroy the formation I, your minefield will naturally be useless. In this way, the fourth hurdle will naturally be broken by itself. Brother Bipiao is brave and fearless, this kind of thing is most suitable for Brother Bipiao to do. Brother Bipiao walks on the ground in the minefield, he is really so strong. I'm not as good as Brother Bipiao. Fang Fan said solemnly, then raised his head and chest, and his expression gradually became solemn. What to say, what to say? Don't worry about other things, the attitude must be real, this is the most important thing. Ah! You want me to go to Lay? Good guy, I knew you kid had no good intentions. The ghost knows if there are other dangers here. If I rush in now, wouldn't I be sure to die? Damn it, it's too dangerous. No. Absolutely not. Too bad. Shameless. Shameless. Fang Fan boy, I did not misread you, you just want to continue to cheat me. Heh heh heh, I tell you, no way. Bai Piao curled his lips, and flinched immediately. Oh. Is that so? Brother Bai Piao, why aren't you afraid of these thunder and lightning? Fang Fan squinted his eyes, then took 2 steps forward, and then leaned into Bai Piao's ear and said. Why? Bai Piao blinked, looking a little confused. It's very simple, because I sealed your thunder god's throne, these thunder and lightning naturally can't get close. In fact, you are really walking on the ground in this minefield, and there is no danger at all. Hee hee, if you stab inside, it's actually not a big problem, but if you don't look for the eye of the formation, then I can only take away your god of thunder, and then graft it to myself, and find the eye of the formation by myself gone. In this case, you will lose the protection of the god of thunder, and your lifespan may fall in a straight line. At that time, you will be in this boundless minefield. If you cannot withstand the thunder and lightning attack, it is very likely that your lifespan will be exhausted ahead of time. Actually, I never wanted to force Brother Bai Piao, everything is according to Brother Bai Piao's will. This kind of thing cannot be threatened. While talking, Fang Fan's eyes gradually became calm. Bai Piao couldn't help but widen her eyes at this moment. Damn it! Shameless! Shameless especially. Fang Fan is still as stubborn as ever. Damage to the home. The deity that was sealed out by imperial edict is still thinking of taking it back. That's it? Just this pattern? I'm willing to find the eyes. Bai Piao was defeated in an instant, he deserved to go up. If Fang Fan really took back his god of thunder, he would be really cold. He knew his body too well. Without the suppression of the god of thunder, he might not be able to live for decades. The danger is sweeping across the board. Tisk. Brother Bai Piao must be under any pressure. Brother Bai Piao, if you don't want to, I'll go. No matter what, Brother Bai Piao cannot be put in danger. Or else Brother Bai Piao is standing here. Shall I go find the eyes? Fang Fan's facial expression became calm, what he said was sincere. Bai Piao. Good dog. I didn't know what a green tea bitch was like before, but now that I see you, I completely understand. Fang Fan kid. You brat is shameless and despicable. I voluntarily went to look for the formation. This is my opportunity to contribute to everyone, so naturally I can't miss it. Everyone, don't grab this opportunity, or I will be in a hurry. If I don't go to hell, who will go to hell? If I don't look for the eye of the formation, then you will fall into it, and there will be many crises. If I don't go to find the formation eye, you will definitely send someone there, so I will feel uneasy. I would rather all these lightning powers be applied to me, and I absolutely don't want my brothers and sisters to be harmed in the slightest. Bai Biao puffed out his chest. Gradually, this image slowly became tall and mighty. At least it sounds like that. Something feels wrong for no reason. At this moment, everyone around looked at each other, and then looked at each other. What is going on with this white float? Transgender. I really don't understand it. Brother Fang Fan, what method did you use to change Brother Bai Biao's temperament? When I look at Brother Bai Biao now, I always feel that there is a pure white holy light shining on him. Cough. It just doesn't feel right. Zhou Qiuyao blinked, then followed with a wry smile. In every way, weird and inexplicable. Perhaps he himself has come to his senses. Fang Fan shrugged, then watched Bai Biao leave. The journey to find the eyes of the formation is actually not a joy. If you want to successfully find the eyes of the formation in such a large minefield, it will naturally take a lot of effort. Ah! Brother Fang Fan, do you think I'm a fool? Brother Bai Biao has always been a man of temperament. If you didn't fool around and remind him, he would never be able to take risks. Brother Bai Biao has a very close relationship with me, how can I not know? Men know men best. Zhou Qiuyao curled his lips, and then said arrogantly. Fang Fan smiled, but didn't say much. In fact, the so-called withdrawal of the God of Thunder is a lie. At present, Fang Fan does not have this ability. But fooling around is enough. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3363. Bai Biao is trying hard to find the truth in Jinyan. The deeper you go, the more powerful the power of thunder and lightning becomes. Even if Bai Biao has the God of Thunder God, he still can't stand it more or less at this moment. Although Bai Biao is 100% immune to these lightning energies relying on the God of Thunder, but the power of lightning strikes him, it is still very painful. The skin is torn apart, but it seems relatively normal. Boy Fang Fan. It's killing me. Whirring. Damn it, I'm going to be bombed to death here, and I'm going to haunt you, Fang Fan boy, if I'm a ghost. Bai Biao's eyes widened, and she couldn't help but sighed comprehensively at this moment. Too difficult. Being fooled by Fang Fan again. Hey, when will I be able to stand up as a serf and sing? If this goes on like this mentality is really unbearable. Invisibly, I feel my brain is buzzing. This feeling cannot be expressed in a few words. In the mind, this feeling became more and more appropriate. The sound of bombing continued, and Bai Biao's wails could be heard from time to time in the fourth floor of the Calamity God's underground palace. At the same time, on the first floor of the God of Disaster underground palace, endless purple-black ants are rampant. The teams that played behind were in a state of howling in pain. Grass. There are only 100 of us, and we need to fight tens of thousands of these weird ants. The point is, this broken ant is extremely poisonous. Take a little bit of it, and you'll instantly become a Hulk. Then the whole body began to fester. Damn it, I can't stop my mentality. Rubbish. Damn it. Our team has downsized almost 30 or 40 people. Hey, can't be the boss. Before, you can guarantee that we will definitely be able to rush over. Now, this situation is not right now. In Haofa's team, the noise of this method is a bit loud, and the sound of roaring is endless, and he can't wait to rush over directly. Around the body, the infinite combat power is inflated in an all-round way. Mentality, collapsed. I can't express anything in a few words, I just want to spit out a mouthful of blood. Who knows that the first floor of the God of Disaster Palace is so difficult to break through? Why is it so difficult to obtain a piece of God's stone? Son of a bitch. What a jerk. Heifu couldn't narrow his eyes at this moment, and he was extremely angry in his heart. Damn. All assholes. This has disrupted his overall plan. Originally, he was thinking of rushing to the sky, rushing directly to the top, breaking through the 9th level of the God of Disaster's underground palace, and obtaining the supreme inheritance of the God of Disaster. That is the inheritance of the true God. In the future, this fate will be rewritten in an instant. But everything has changed. Is the first level so difficult? Steady. Hold on. Perhaps the first level is the hardest. After, the latter should be fine. Hold on to everything. As long as we can persevere, victory will be ours sooner or later. Don't you want the divine bone? The artifact is just ahead. Even in front of you is the gate to God's domain. Get the inheritance of the true God, and you can take off in an instant. Hanging the Holy One, beating the demigod. The opportunity is here. Come on. The brave are invincible. Hey couldn't let out a roar. This guy has now completely embarked on the road of pyramid selling. And it has been drifting away on this road. Invisibly, it has already exploded in an all-round way. This gesture cannot be expressed in a few words, and such feelings are extremely appropriate. Teams of hundreds of people with the divine weapon, the Bone Dream, rushed into the Disaster God's underground palace one by one, and retreated one by one. When rushing in, it was a full-strength team of 100 people, and it is very likely that there will be no one left in the retreat. Feeling so depressing in my heart. The mentality also exploded in an instant. Everything has changed. Ending may be the best choice at the moment. Outside the Calamity God's underground palace, groups of cultivators rushed out crying and howling from time to time. Disgusting, grass, ants. All ants. I'm throwing up, I can't help it, it's all, what the hell? Get out. Get out. Don't come here. Woo, woo woo, I got my life back. I almost died. My legs, my feet, are shaking right now. Goodong, what treasures are all fake? They are all fake. This is the Shura field, and it is killing us. Labor and management no longer believe in the plans of these bastards, and were almost killed. Day, what the hell is this place? Why is there such a place in the True God Cave Mansion? Escape here quickly, or you will all die. The roaring sounds gradually increased, and the tremors of the body also gradually increased. In a few words, there was silence deep in the heart. Such thoughts swirled in my mind and were slowly put down. In the end, Huanmeng still has to wake up. When you wake up, it's all over. It's back to how it was at the beginning. In front of the Calamity God's underground palace, it seemed quite lively at the moment. The announcement of the Disaster God's underground palace has begun. He can't successfully lead the team through the first floor of the Disaster God's underground palace. Reward a fragment of the God Stone. The announcement of the Disaster God's underground palace has begun. Lu Feng successfully led the team through the first floor of the Disaster God's underground palace. Reward a fragment of the God Stone. The announcement of the Disaster God's underground palace has begun. Ji Lan successfully led the team through the first floor of the Calamity God's underground palace. Reward a fragment of the God Stone. Of course, it's not like there were so many teams rushing past without success. Some of the more powerful teams have achieved their wishes by relying on overall sacrifice. But when they passed the first floor of the God of Disaster underground palace, they were basically scrapped. And on the second floor, what they faced was the attack of a powerful keel whale. This is a fatal blow to their already precarious team. On the second floor of the Disaster God's underground palace, the black team can't. One charge, more than 20 were killed by that keel whale. We only have about 20 people left. It's cold. It's completely cold. Who the hell said just now that it would be easy after passing the first level? The keel whale, which has existed for an unknown number of years, is so humming killed. Speak. Speak. What's wrong? Why are they all dumb? What should I say? Do you really have no point in your heart? Damn. You bastard. They're all bastards. Ah. Ah. If you don't leave now, it will be too late. Get away. Although the treasure is good, what does it have to do with us? In the current Haofu team, the remaining 20 or so practitioners basically have this idea. So desperate. There was darkness ahead. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3364. Could it be that they really had to wait until they all died on the spot to wake up? No. Never. If you don't escape now, when will you wait? This is a dead end. Who will fight? Hay couldn't help but stare at the keel whale crisscrossing the sea in front of him with a gloomy face. His complexion sank to the extreme. Damn it. Damn. Die. I'll be damned. Everything in front of you should be beaten into rubbish. Why? Why would that Fang Fan rush over? He even rushed past the third floor of the Calamity God's underground palace. What's the difference between me and him? My God. Are you going to humiliate me too? I don't accept it. I don't accept it. I have to, I'll have to pay the price. Pay a heavy price. If I quit like this, I will become the laughing stock of everyone. Call. This young master must not be worse than that Fang Fan. Hay couldn't help but have no clue in his mind at this moment. Because of this face, I have no fear of other things, I just want to rush over madly. Probably this is such a pure and true attitude. Thoughts are in place, and feelings are slowly expanding. Everyone. Let's avoid this keel whale, find an opportunity to go to the opposite bank, and then we can directly set foot on the entrance of the third floor. At that time, we will be able to successfully pass the second floor of the Calamity God's underground palace. After reaching the third floor of the Calamity God's underground palace, the difficulty will definitely decrease. We must not collapse on the eve of victory. We've already walked 99 steps, is it just one step away? Did you hear that? Whirring. Rush. Sprint over. Opportunity is here. We are the proud sons of the Dark Academy. We are the pride of the Dark Camp. Men from my Dark Camp. Fight to the death and never retreat. Haofu's face gradually became ruddy, and as he was speaking, the gleam in his eyes became more and more intense, and his body trembled violently as he spoke. Lock everything in front of you, and then burst out in an all-round way. Roar. Ants. In the sea area, the keel whale rushed over again, and the surrounding waves were hit by dozens of feet high. The surging oppressive force came, and there was a trace of bloody smell in the air. Gudong. The sword in Haofu's hand trembled slightly. Can't stand it anymore. It exploded, the mentality exploded. Damn it, this way has been terminated. Also, play with the hammer. The cool moonlight gathers in my heart. Hay couldn't help but wanted to lead by example and sprint forward, but he couldn't help but backed up. Especially after seeing the strength of that keel whale, his mentality could no longer collapse. What a humming dick. Forget it. The footsteps are suddenly fast to the extreme. Swift as the wind, it makes people feel extremely crazy invisibly. Hay couldn't stop hesitating, he decided to listen to his heart, then turned around and ran away without saying anything. As for the cultivators behind him, he didn't want to fool around anymore, so he just blocked here, and it would be good to serve him as a shield. The 20 or so remaining practitioners of the Sci-Fi team looked at all this ignorantly, and the changes in their facial expressions were particularly real at this moment. Shameless. Despicable. Dirty. It's really rubbish. CAO, is this? Is this? I really can't understand it, I just vomited. Who can tell me what happened? Hey can't, on the surface it looks grand, but in fact it's full of male thieves and female prostitutes. Little man. Whew, let's not run away, but I ran away. Damn thing. Shameless rubbish. This nature, I can see through it. Hee hee. It's like someone doesn't know, that's it? That's it? Submit it, we just know it well. Don't be inked, that bastard Haofo has already run away, let's run away now. Run. Accelerate. The keel whale is here. The big rout has begun. At this moment, the speed of escaping became faster and faster, wishing that he could grow a few more legs. Outside the God of Disaster Palace. Black couldn't breathe heavily. Call. Escaped. It's too thrilling. Almost, it's really cold. Fortunately, in the end, Zhizong Shenzi saved his life. Gudong. In the Disaster God's underground palace, there is a problem. Could it be that this damn God of Calamity is deliberately targeting me? Raising the difficulty for me? Deliberately not letting me pass. Otherwise, how do you explain that Fang Fan can rush in, but I can't? He couldn't move his eyeballs, thinking to himself, his eyes slowly turned. All in all, the state of mind at this moment is particularly complicated. In a few words, I can't make it clear. Black can't. Garbage. Scum. Fudged us to kill, and escaped out of fear of death. More than 20 brothers, just because they listened to your nonsense, they were killed and injured. Hey can't. Get lost. Nausea. Little man. At this moment, 3 or 5 bloody figures sprang out from the Disaster God's underground palace again. After these figures came out, they immediately began to complain about it. The howling sounds gradually increased, and the gnashing of teeth was vividly displayed. If you want to be unknown, you have to do nothing. What He couldn't do before was indeed a bit despicable. There is no shameless bottom line, and you can still talk about a hammer. Are you courting death? He couldn't keep his face dark. At this moment, he could already feel the pointing gestures of those around him. Damn! A bunch of bastards! How dare you do this to him? How dare you insult him in person? What he cares most about is this face, and now these bastards actually want to tear his face off. Good guy. How can you bear this? It erupts in minutes. At this moment, He Fufang is using power to overwhelm others. Hee hee. What the hell do you think you are? Terrible rubbish. I can see through it. Isn't that the case? Nausea. What? Don't let anyone tell you after you've done it. Do you really think you are the supreme true God? Think this is still in the Dark Academy? This is in the Disaster God's underground palace. Do you dare to do anything to me? Come on, trash. Come and hit me. In the Disaster God's underground palace, you, a waste who is greedy for life and afraid of death, dare to do it? The hearts of the people are against each other, and now this black man has completely lost his trust. At least these cultivators who escaped from the Disaster God's underground palace already hated Haofu so much. At this moment, it is natural to do everything possible to make him as bad as possible. Asshole. He couldn't get so angry that the veins on his forehead popped out. He wanted to obliterate these guys in front of him, and then destroy all the evidence. The taint of greed for life and fear of death should not appear on him. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3365. But in the disaster god's underground palace, once he makes a move, the mysterious power in the disaster god's underground palace will kill him directly. I will endure. A small leak will sink a great ship. Call. It's no big deal. That's it, that's it. Hee hee. What counts? Those who achieve great things do not care about small details. I can't help but be destined to become the overlord in the future, so naturally I can endure what ordinary people can't bear. Well, that's how it should be. It's nothing, let alone worry about anything. After leaving the disaster god's underground palace, one of these people counts as one, just kill them all. As for the rest, they are nothing, don't worry at all. Hay couldn't move his eyeballs, thinking to himself, his eyes slowly raised. The announcement of the disaster god's underground palace has begun. Fang Fan successfully led the team through the 4th floor of the Calamity God's underground palace. Reward a set of Thunder God's magic circle. The ethereal sound sounded again, and it still seemed a little sinister at the moment. But invisibly, it gives people a sense of endless tremors in their hearts. Good guy, what a good guy. Past the 4th floor? This Fang Fan, how sacred. Most of them can't even get past the 1st floor of the God of Calamity's underground palace. Even if it is as powerful as the Heofa team and Lu Feng team, then, when facing the keel whale on the 2nd floor of the disaster god's underground palace, they can only return home with a feather. But Fang Fan was able to pass 5 stages and kill 6 generals, and continued to stab outward. This combat power is really amazing. And the Thunder God's magic circle rewarded by the 4th floor of the disaster god's underground palace is a good thing. Thunder God's magic circle, with the name of Thunder God on it, how could it be worse? It sounds pretty full on. Envy, jealousy, hate. Why? This Fang Fan is still awesome. We have so many teams that we can't even break through the 2nd floor of the Calamity God's underground palace. They have passed the 4th floor. I'm afraid they are already stabbing towards the 5th floor. It's so awesome that you can't accept everything. The Black School from the Dark School was still pretending to catch up with Fang Fan. What about now? Hee hee, that's nothing more than a talkative king, I have already felt it. Tisk, it's nothing, it's clear. Not to mention the rest, I understand everything. Damn it, at this speed, that boss Fang Fan won't be able to pass through the 9th floor of the underground palace, right? Then the inheritance of the god of disaster will be, but it will really belong to him. I'm going. This is the inheritance of the true god. The future and destiny of the future must be different from ours. How should I put it? The difference is not even a star. I understand everything, but I don't know anything. But speaking of it, they can't get through this disaster god's underground palace anyway. Why do these people still block the entrance of the disaster god's underground palace? Don't they want to go out? What are you thinking? Hee hee, why don't you go out? Me? I want to watch the fun and eat melons. Me too. They're both millennia-old foxes, and Liazai who also plays with hammers. Who the hell doesn't know that Fang Fan is a super big treasury? Not to mention the demigod dragon crystal and demon bamboo that he had on his body before he came to the real god's cave, and now the treasures he got in the disaster god's underground palace are all fascinating and jealous. Now they are all gathered here, isn't it? Do you want to wait for that boss Fang Fan to come out, and then give him a fatal blow? So that's what happened, I understand in seconds. Oh. In fact, it's just like that, just understand it in your heart. The exclamations gradually increased, and everyone's eyes rolled, and their facial expressions changed in a very real way. Everything is the most authentic gesture. What they are playing is the game of waiting for rabbits. What should I do? They can't get through the level by themselves, and they can't get rewards, so now they have their ideas on husband, and they want to catch husband all at once when he comes out. Xiao Liuli gritted her teeth, and she couldn't help showing a worried look on her face while speaking. From her point of view, it feels like this is a very important matter. Fang Fan is her god. What are you worried about? My husband was never in danger, but did you see any harm he suffered? My husband has experienced many risks. What are these people worth? It's nothing. My husband will definitely be able to completely defeat them at that time. Concubine Xiang blinked her beautiful eyes, with a confident look on her face. Her husband is strong. The announcement of the Disaster God's underground palace has begun. Fang Fan successfully led the team through the 5th floor of the Calamity God's underground palace. Reward a drop of true spirit blood. Before everyone could react, another wave of announcements came. Grass. How long has it been? 3 minutes? Or 5 minutes? It broke again. Awesome class. This is the boss. Powerful. Boss Fang Fan is an eternal god. I'm done. Breakthrough is as easy as eating and drinking. Hey, that black can't be compared with Fang Fan, it's a far cry. Hee hee, Lu Feng from Guangming Academy actually wants to compete with Fang Fan. Impressed. The sound of complaints continued to spread. Lu Feng, the captain of the Guangming Academy's 4th-year representative team, gritted his teeth and looked displeased. He was foiled again. The stronger Fang Fan is, the more useless he is. A newborn calf is not afraid of a tiger. Well, the next level must be more difficult. Being able to pass the 5th level is because he, Fang Fan, borrowed the luck of Guangming Academy, and the latter is absolutely impossible. The announcement of the Disaster God's underground palace has begun. Fang Fan successfully led the team through the 6th floor of the Disaster God's underground palace. Reward a god stone. Slapped in the face. Lu Feng's face suddenly became gloomy. Just after complaining about Fang Fan, his face was swollen. Even if he spoke a little 10 seconds late, it seemed like he could still get it back. Now everyone is watching his jokes. Senior brother Lu Feng, can you predict when Fang Fan will be able to destroy the 7th floor of the God of Disaster Palace? Yes, yes, senior brother Lu Feng's speculative ability should not be too strong. 2 sarcastic voices came from the surroundings, and Lu Feng's face became even darker. Fang Fan on the 7th floor of the Disaster God's underground palace has absolutely no chance of passing through. Really think that Fang Fan is a real god? If he can still pass within 5 minutes this time, I'll kill him head on and kill him here. Lu Feng held his head high and chest out, looking majestic. But when swearing, he also kept an eye out. He was limited to 5 minutes to pass. 5 minutes, Fang Fan passed the 7th floor of the God of Disaster underground palace. Is this possible? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3366. The announcement of the Disaster God's underground palace has begun. Fang Fan successfully led the team through the 7th floor of the Calamity God's underground palace. Reward a burning soul fruit. You may be late for face slapping, but you will never be absent. At this moment, such a sound resounded through the entire Disaster God underground palace. The people standing in front of the Disaster God's underground palace widened their eyes at this moment, and each followed in amazement. Awesome! It's so powerful! Is this the boss? The gap between each other is simply not too big. I don't care about the bells and whistles at all, just crush them directly. That feeling, inexplicably rushing to the top. At this moment, Lu Feng, the captain of the 4th-year representative team of Guangming Academy, turned extremely dark. Slapped in the face. Got slapped in the face again. I just wanted to pretend, now what? This face was slapped so badly. His gloomy gaze retracted, trying to reduce his sense of existence as much as possible. It's really embarrassing after all. He can't afford to lose this face. But obviously, there are still many good people around. How could those melon eaters who had been waiting to see the joke for a long time miss such a great opportunity? At this moment, each of them shouted loudly, the excitement on their faces was beyond words, and they wished they could fly over to do something. Tisk, how exciting is this? Far more exciting than imagined. Brother Lu Feng, what did you just say? You said that as long as Fang Fan passes through the 7th floor of the God of Calamity's underground palace within 5 minutes, you will kill him immediately. Tisk, these words shouldn't be false, right? Furthermore, Brother Lu Feng has never been the kind of person who doesn't count his words. That's right, Senior Brother Lu Feng has always kept his word. Senior Brother Lu Feng, we all heard it just now, now we will watch your performance. Brother Lu Feng. The taunting voices around gradually became more and more. At this moment, Lu Feng wanted to dig a crack in the ground, and then just drilled in. This embarrassment, I threw it at home. At this moment, there is a feeling that I can't hold my head up. Oh shit. Damn stuff. Damn Fang Fan. Why do you have to show like this every time? Even if you are not in front of me, you will still bring me humiliation. Call. Cluck cluck. Lu Feng gritted his teeth tightly, and the murderous light in his eyes was gathering at this moment. At this moment, he seems to have become the object of ridicule by everyone. If he doesn't react a little, I'm afraid he really won't be able to get along in the future. This face has to be kept until now. Lu Feng swallowed a mouthful of saliva, and subconsciously twitched the corner of his mouth. Then he strode forward, holding a sharp knife, with solemn eyes. Even though I died 9 times, I still haven't regretted it. What's the point of killing at the neck? I, Lu Feng, am a day-level student of Guangming Academy. I was personally appointed by the deputy head of Guangming Academy as the leader of the 4th grade team. How can I be the kind of person who is greedy for life and afraid of death? Death, that's just the simplest thing. For me, it never even cared. While Lu Feng was talking, he pointed the long sword at his neck, showing his posture vividly. After the words were spoken, many people around were moved. I go. Good guy. Are you really going to kill yourself? If you don't kill yourself, what are you doing with this appearance? Did you really underestimate this Lu Feng? Does this guy really have the courage to die? This. The surrounding people couldn't help hesitating. At this moment, their eyes couldn't help turning around, and the changes in facial expressions were very real. The more you look at it, the weirder it becomes, and the more you look at it, the more thrilling it becomes. Always feel like something is wrong. There were even quite a few people who could not bear it, and wanted to dissuade Lu Feng. Lu Feng saw everyone's expressions in his eyes, and then smiled silently. Ridiculous. Even this group of trash wants to see through his schemes. Suicide. It is impossible to kill yourself, and it is impossible to kill yourself in this life, but for the sake of this face, it is very necessary to put on a show. Lu Feng held his head high, and then made a posture of bowing his neck and killing him. Slowly, he himself followed suit. My hand. Why can't you control it? Ah. What the hell is this place? Is it impossible for me to kill myself even if I show my ambition? There is a force in this disaster god's underground palace that is preventing me from cutting myself off. Asshole. Asshole. God of disaster Dagong, it's fine for you to obstruct the chaos, why are you preventing me from committing suicide? Ah. Lu Feng's face turned red suddenly, and then he couldn't help shouting at the same time. While talking, the excitement on his face was beyond words. The more I talked, the more excited I became, and the more I talked, the more excited I became. Gradually, the whole person drifted away. Scanning the past, somehow feel that some sand sculptures are not good. Good guy. What the hell is this, trying to do? Floating. Still stupid? Calm down a little bit, it doesn't look like that. A sense of weirdness surges in an instant. A group of melon-eating people around just watched Lu Feng's performance so intently, and now they looked at each other in blank dismay, and at the moment they were also confused, wondering if something went wrong. Is the mysterious power in the disaster god's underground palace so terrible? Even you are in charge of suicide. Hey, this Lu Feng can be regarded as extinct. If he wants to kill himself, he can't do it? It's sad. Sand sculpture. Who are you scolding, sand sculptures? It's you who are scolding, you are not a sand sculpture. Who is it? Is it obvious that you are acting? If you really want to die, just detonate your dantian. It's not easy to live, but it's not easy to want to die. Ah, so this Lu Feng is putting on a show. Isn't that what's going on? I've seen this trick a long time ago. Ah, not so shameless, is this face really so ugly? This doesn't quite look like. Hey, how about you are still young? Everyone knows this kind of thing, but there is no need to go into details, it's nothing. Is there anything these trash can't do to protect their own face? It's nothing, I've seen it clearly for a long time. Actually, I also see it very clearly. After all, it's just like that. People's eyes are sharp. If you want to fool 3 or 5 people, you may be able to succeed, but there are tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of people here, how can you fool them? Are you fooling around? I don't know how many pairs of golden eyes there are. If you want to do something here, you will be oppressed in an instant. Immediately, my mentality became cooler. However, this Lu Feng can be regarded as a talent, even after being exposed so far, there is no trace of shame on his face, on the contrary, his performance has become more and more decent. If you want to fool others, you have to fool yourself first. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3367. Okay. Don't you want to kill yourself? It's not a problem. You attack me. According to the rules of the God of Disaster Underground Palace, once you attack me, you will be severely punished for the first time, and you will be wiped out for the second time. Well. In other words, after you attack me twice, you will be wiped out directly. It seems that this is quite in line with your wishes. Or else, just do it. Tisk, how nice it is. At this moment, suddenly a chubby figure walked over. When they approached, everyone discovered the identity of the visitor. Sun Han, president of Tiandao Club of Guangming Academy. Sun Han parted ways with Fang Fan and the others at the beginning because he wanted to lead the Tiandao Club into the True God Cave. At this moment, it was also because they saw the silver-white light beams emitted from the disaster god's underground palace that they gathered here. Seeing Fang Fan break through the 7th floor of the God of Calamity's underground palace this time, his face was more or less melancholy. Originally, he also had the opportunity to join the team of Junior Fang Fan, but he hesitated at that time because he was concerned about the members of Tiandao Club. At that time, the president of the Guangming Society, Chu Sisi, resolutely followed, and then showed 2 completely different endings. A sense of regret arises spontaneously. This feeling cannot be expressed clearly in a few words, and I always feel very melancholy. At this moment, seeing Lu Feng embarrassing himself here, he couldn't help but step forward to break the situation. This bastard is still a student of Guangming Academy, and now he is ashamed here, and he is also a member of Guangming Academy. After Sun Han, the president of the Tiandao Club of Guangming Academy, finished speaking. There were bursts of booing from the surroundings. Oh! Attack! Hurry up and attack! Don't you want to kill yourself? Attack twice and you will get what you want. That's right. People have come up with a way to kill yourself, hurry up and execute it. Ha ha ha. I just laughed out loud. This is the real slap in the face. Is this face swollen a lot from being slapped? I laughed, I really laughed. That's it? That's it? Good guy, what a good guy. Speaking of it, isn't that the case? It's nothing, it looks very real. I understand everything, don't slap your face too quickly. You may be late for face slapping, but you will never be absent. It makes sense, it really makes sense. See how Lu Feng will show off later. Lu Feng's face is ugly at the moment. Damn it. Someone actually came out to disrupt the situation. Don't give him face. How embarrassing did this make him? What's next? When I cut myself off just now, I could blame my failure on the rules of the God of Disaster Underground Palace. But now, people are using the rules of the God of Disaster Underground Palace to refute you. What can I do? Sun Han. Damn. Lu Feng gritted his teeth, his heart full of resentment. I've never offended you, why did you come here to tear me down? Am I so shameless? What to do now? Don't you know it's embarrassing? Embarrassed out of the sky. Next, play a chicken? At this moment, Lu Feng really wanted to open his mouth and have a good argument with Sun Han, but if he really did so in front of so many people, it would be a complete failure. At that time, he will be stared at the pillar of shame. Be the laughing stock of the heavens. I can't afford to play, but I still prefer to play. Heh, he. Brother Sun Han was joking. The matter of suicide is only my own business. How can I hurt you for my own self-interest? No. Absolutely impossible. I will absolutely not allow such a thing to happen in front of my eyes. Brother Sun Han, you and I are both members of the Guangming Academy. I will absolutely not allow this kind of sibling rivalry to happen in the Guangming Academy. In this way, it will only make the loved ones hurt the enemies faster. Phew, I hope Brother Sun Han won't force me. I can't do anything to Brother Sun Han, I really can't do it. We are both sky-level students of Guangming Academy. We are brothers and sisters. The drama is on. While Lu Feng was talking, his whole body couldn't help trembling violently, his eyes were full of light, and the corners of his mouth twitched as he spoke. After all, that's probably the case. Very real and very clear. Say 1,000 words and 10,000, but you don't want to do it? At the entrance of the Disaster God's underground palace, once he chooses to attack, the mysterious power in the Disaster God's underground palace will really kill him. Hei Fu from that dark school has already learned from the past. It is impossible to die. If you die for the sake of face, then there is a meaning of a hammer. Okay. Come down. Don't overdo it. It's almost there now. Remember, you are a member of Guangming Academy. Your every move involves the image of Guangming Academy. Do you know that you have made the entire Guangming Academy lose face by doing this? Snort. Several for it. The cold snorts gradually increased, and Sun Han also wanted to give Lu Feng one last chance. But how can this guy listen to these words now? Totally disapproving. I, Lu Feng, want to commit suicide, the world knows it. It's the mysterious power of this bastard God of Disaster underground palace that prevents me from committing suicide. God of Disaster. If you have the ability, you kill me. You are trash. Lu Feng drifted away, and began to enlarge his moves. He felt that the mysterious forces in the Disaster God's underground palace would not pay attention to him. But in many cases, something will happen that backfires. Some things, I really can't say clearly. Slandering the god of disaster, you will be to blame. A heavy punishment. The ethereal sound resounded in the sky, making people feel a sense of panic and uneasiness. At this moment, the eyeballs turned all over, and the mentality burst instantly. Then a powerful force instantly wrapped Lu Feng's body. No. Don't want. I was just joking. God of disaster, great God of disaster, please, please don't kill me. I don't want to die, I don't want to die. Don't. I just pretended, I just wanted to make those sand sculptures believe that I am not afraid of death. But I never thought of offending you. The great disaster god. Let me go. Woo 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 woo. I want to live, to live. I won't pretend anymore. I didn't mean to offend you. I was wrong. Streams of cold sweat flowed out from Lu Feng's forehead, and fell to the ground in a rustle. The ground looks very wet at the moment. In addition to the transparent sweat, there is also some light yellow liquid with a strange smell. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3368. Thinking about it this time, my body and mind exploded. In order to survive, this Lu Feng had something to say, so naturally he didn't dare to pretend to be coercive now. This is really fatal. Dead, but really dead, there will be no traces. He felt unrealistic to confront this illusory god. Stab. Stab. There was a sound of flesh and blood being broken, and a hurricane blew over, like a sickle, as if it wanted to harvest him completely. At the critical moment, Lu Feng desperately avoided, trying to hide from here. Because he dodged in time, his head was prevented from being harvested by the wind blade, but he was so alive, the wind blade directly gathered on his lower body. Stab. Flesh flying. A foreign object is floating in the air. Ah! Ah! My darling! My darling! Lu Feng let out a hoarse roar, and there was a murderous look in his pupils at this moment. Why did it become like this? Damn! Damn! It was far from what he expected, too much. The sense of despair deep in his heart hit him, and he didn't know what to say. He looked at his empty lower body, and really wanted to bump his head to death at this moment. Now it's not as simple as losing face, now I don't even have a symbol of myself as a man. Everything is over. A long silence suddenly appeared in the surrounding area, followed by a violent noise. Cao. I'm dazzled. What the hell, have I been eunuched? The mysterious existence of the disaster god's underground palace is really naughty, to use such a method. Cough, cough cough cough, this is indeed a bit incomprehensible, but no matter what, it's still so powerful. Tisk, interesting, really interesting, more and more interesting. Speaking of which, it's Lu Feng who wanted to die by himself. In order to pretend, he actually sneered at the god of disaster. This is on his territory. It's not bad if he didn't kill him directly. How should I put it? I can only say that he is killing himself. Stupidity is not a star, anyway, I am really laughing now. Just pretending to be so brave? Do you have the courage to commit suicide? When the mysterious force was punishing him just now, the humble appearance of this guy crawling on the ground is really... Grandpa laughed. The sounds of emotion around him grew more and more. Other things don't need to be said for the time being, this time, that's all. Anyway, at this moment, Lu Feng can be regarded as stealing chickens and losing money. Originally, I wanted to keep the style, but I didn't expect to be educated in the end. Asshole. They're all bastards. Sun Han. Fang Fan. And you guys. One counts as one, all of them are waiting for me. Who, when I find a chance, kill them all. Kill them all. Anyone who mocks me, Lu Feng, must die. Lu Feng prostrated himself on the ground, clenched his hands tightly, and then couldn't help reaching out to touch his bloody lower body. At this moment, the resentment in his heart rose to the extreme. From now on, he is no longer a man. Healing card. That's right, at the auction of Yuanqi Academy, there was a kind of healing card that can instantly restore injuries. There is still a chance. I must get the healing card. I still have the chance to be a man again. Lu Feng's falcon's eyes scanned the surrounding area, and then his eyeballs turned around, and various thoughts in his heart couldn't help but increase. Among these people around, who will have a healing card on them, this is what he needs to pay attention to at the moment. Lu Feng licked his lips, thinking to himself, his thoughts were completely tumbling. Let all of this burst out in full swing. Damn everything. All must die. At the same time, at the exit of the 7th floor and the entrance of the 8th floor of the God of Disaster Underground Palace, Fang Fan waited and stood where he was. Brother Bai Piao successfully found the Eye of the Thunder Field on the 4th floor of the God of Disaster Underground Palace, and then we successfully passed the 4th floor. In fact, the 4th floor of the God of Disaster Underground Palace is still quite difficult. But the 5th, 6th, and 7th floors of the Calamity God's Underground Palace are really like a joke. We have come all the way, there is no barrier at all. This is the same as the 3rd floor. Is this still the Welfare Bureau? It always feels like there's something wrong with it. Fang Fan walked away and frowned, and while speaking, his eyes scanned the surrounding area. At this moment, he can only see endless yellow sand. The surrounding area is completely deserted. The more I look at it, the more treacherous I feel. Brother Fang Fan, what do we care about so much? As long as we can break through the barrier, isn't it all right? The rewards for these several levels are quite generous. Gui Sha silently nodded, and the smile on his face grew more and more. The difficulty of breaking through the level has been reduced. Wouldn't it be possible to lie down and win? Isn't that uncomfortable? Yeah, brother Fang Fan, don't you think too much. If the 8th and 9th floors are the same, then it will be too easy for us to pass the level. At that time, you will be able to pass through the 9th floor of the Calamity God's Underground Palace casually. According to what we learned before, if we can successfully break through the 9th floor of the God of Disaster's Underground Palace, we will be able to obtain the inheritance of the God of Disaster. This is the inheritance of the true God. His. Zhou Qiuyao licked his lips, his face gradually showing excitement. Those who can remain indifferent at this time are indeed a minority. The inheritance of the true God is not something you can get if you want it. Not to mention them, even those demigods are definitely flocking to them. True God, that is the symbol of invincibility. This disaster god is the true god of the dark camp. Brother Zhuoqiu, if you obtain his inheritance, you may be assigned to the ranks of the dark camp in the future. Aren't you worried? The corner of Fang Fan's mouth raised slightly, and then he said something calmly. What are you worried about? If it really allows me to get the inheritance of the true God, these are all nothing. Let's not talk about me, I'm afraid even our deputy palace master Shui Wanren would never care about this. After all, compared with the inheritance of the true God, faith is really dispensable. It's not that I don't have faith, I just think the most powerful faith is to believe in your own strength. Zhuoqiu was sober in the world, and when he spoke, he seemed sonorous and forceful. These were also the most sincere thoughts deep in his heart. Pure and frank. The essence of faith is a strong self. Isn't it more fragrant to believe in one's own strength than to believe in those indifferent true gods? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 3369. If you can really get the inheritance of the true God, maybe you can really create a way for the heavens to become a god. In this big world, demigods are respected. Don't say it's a true god, there are no false gods. That is to say, those so-called demigods can't control divine power at all. It is said to be a demigod, but in fact it has nothing to do with a god. In fact, those who have cultivated to the semi-god state are the most confused, because they find that there is no way ahead. Keep going down, that's the cliff. I don't want to suffer such torture after being promoted to the demigod realm by chance one day. If that's the case, don't be too scary. Zochiuya curled his lips, and then said calmly. Brother Zuokyu, don't you think too much. We are still thousands of miles away from the demigod realm. It's an unexpected joy to be able to be promoted to the holy venerable realm in this life, a demigod, it's too vain. Guisha wriggled his lips, and then sighed softly. Guisha has always been a pragmatic school, and has never been very interested in such fancy things. He. Who can make sense of such a thing? Even if it's a salted fish, you have to be a salted fish with dreams, right? Inheritance of the true God, I don't care whether he is the evil god or the god of light, as long as it is really helpful to my path to becoming a god, I will accept it. Good on. Call. I'm a little excited now. I suddenly feel that there is a smooth road in front of me. This time, we also got the honor of Brother Fang Fan. If it weren't for that, we would never have been able to get through the purple-black ants on the first floor, the keel whales on the second floor, and the minefield on the fourth floor. While talking, Zuokyu couldn't help casting a grateful look at Fang Fan. Hey. You got the wrong partner, right? Good guy. This minefield on the fourth floor was obviously found by the envoy of God, so I led you through it. How can this credit be credited to Fang Fan? Bai Piao twitched her lips, and then couldn't help but scramble for merit. The yelling was endless, and the things on the scene were displayed very appropriately. It's quite interesting, though. Seeing everyone's relaxed look, Fang Fan's eyes narrowed slightly. Some things still need full attention, and there must be no carelessness. In every aspect, you need to follow along. What's wrong with you? Worried about the situation changing? Chu Sisi walked to Fang Fan's side, and then couldn't help but said softly. Women's minds are relatively more delicate. Do not know why. There is always a bad feeling. Call. Maybe I'm thinking too much. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes, and then shook his head. From his point of view, he was actually too lazy to think about anything. Since we have reached the 7th floor, we must continue to rush forward. But don't be careless, everyone, be careful. Walk. Fang Fan waved his hand, and then continued to move towards the 8th floor of the Calamity God's underground palace. As soon as I stepped in, I smelled a disgusting stench. The stench instantly rushed to the nostrils, and the whole person was refreshed instantly. What smell? Cao. This smell is really pungent. What the hell? Bai Piao clutched his chest, his face flushed while speaking, his body was trembling at the moment, the smell was indeed a bit strong. Chu Sisi on the side had already pulled Fang Fan's clothes tightly at this moment, and then moved her nose to the edge of Fang Fan's clothes, covering her nose with the clothes. The smell was so irritating that she fainted directly. Roar. Fresh meat. Kill them. Attack. GGG. In front of my eyes, countless figures suddenly appeared. I raised my head and took a glance, and everyone's expressions changed drastically. Vomit. After all, Bai Piao still couldn't hold back, this wave directly blew out thousands of miles. Everyone around hurriedly backed away. Oh shit. This smell is really awesome. Can you stop for a little while? My mind suddenly collapsed at this moment. This is a zombie. I didn't expect to meet again. It's just that the zombies in front of me are probably sealed off for thousands of years, and the smell on their bodies has been fermented for thousands of years, so they are all poisonous. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes, secretly thinking in his heart. Boom. Just at this moment, Caitlin suddenly fell down unsteadily. Fang Fan's complexion changed, and his eyes suddenly became serious. Everyone close your mouth and nose, this smell is poisonous. These zombies have problems, don't be careless. Fang Fan exhaled a foul breath, and then said in a cold voice. Healing card. Quickly use the healing card. Fang Fan looked at Caitlin's position, and then said urgently. None, invalid. My lord, this toxin is very strange, and the healing card can't be removed directly. Galen stood aside and activated a healing card, but there was no response, and the horror on his face was beyond words. Then what to do? Now even the healing card is invalid. It's too dangerous here. Boy Fang Fan, or we should withdraw. Don't delay here. If we continue like this, we will definitely die. Go, let's go. Bai Piao shrank his neck. When faced with danger, this guy's first reaction was to save his life. Although the others didn't say anything, but under the current severe situation, they really wanted to escape. In the 8th floor of the Disaster God's underground palace, they can hardly even breathe, let alone fight. The inheritance of the true God is indeed a good thing, but if you lose your life, it won't be worth it. Etc. Hold on. Fang Fan clenched his teeth, his eyes turned rapidly, and he felt dizzy for no reason at the moment. No matter how hard you hold your breath, some smell will still be transmitted invisibly. A sense of treachery gathered in an instant. Fang Fan licked his lips, thinking to himself, his eyes gradually became erratic. Hold on. Boy Fang Fan, we are running for our lives. Wait a while running for your life, you should know what it means. If this is a little careless, our little lives will be ruined. Boy Fang Fan. I really can't hold it anymore. What the hell, it's indeed the Disaster God's underground palace. God of disaster, what the hell is the true God who brings disaster? Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3370. Bai Piao couldn't help cursing at the moment. While talking, the shaking of the body also increased, the black lines on the forehead gathered all over, and the mentality also slowly collapsed. How to deal with it next, I don't know anything. So difficult. Really difficult. A few words can no longer describe this feeling. At this moment, Fang Fan did not have this guy's emotions rendered, but gathered all his energy together, thinking about the next road. Zombie, this is a zombie. The poison emanating from the zombies can't even solve the healing card. Well, I'm a professional at dealing with zombies. When I first debuted, I was fighting these zombies. How did you fight against these corpse poisons? Corpse poison. Serum card. Call. It's far away in the sky, but it's close in front of us, yet, I didn't even notice it. It's really stupid to the extreme. Fang Fan thought to himself, and then couldn't help shaking his head. Sometimes the most complex forms just need the simplest solution. All staff equip serum cards. Use serum cards. Immediately. Attack. Fight. Kill. Fang Fan snorted secretly, then directly took out a number of serum cards from the storage ring and threw them into the air to ensure that everyone could get the serum cards. Relatively speaking, this is the top priority. As for the others, don't care at all. No matter how powerful the toxin on this zombie is, when it encounters a serum card, it can only be completely retreated. Even, when these zombies are forced to be contaminated with serum, they will scream a few times along with ghosts. Ah! Ah! It hurts. Has a problem. Don't get close. Die. The zombies made some indistinct sounds, and at this moment their bodies trembled unnaturally. When the mentality collapses, it is nothing. These zombies seem to have self-awareness, and they actually know how to dodge in an all-round way. Speaking out, that is the lowest level of operation. I don't know how many thousands of years these zombies have existed here. Slowly, they all became ghosts. Every one of these combat powers has been raised to the extreme. Fang Fan squinted his eyes, and then saw that the keel whale height seemed a little powerless against 3 or 5 zombies. Fang Fan and others have indeed experienced the combat power of keel whale height before, and the defense on his body can be called a burst. Even if the 12 low heavy machine artillery bombarded with all their strength, they could not cause too much damage to him. At that time, if Fang Fan hadn't tricked him into signing the Rage God contract, I'm afraid he really couldn't pass through the second floor of the God of Disaster underground palace. But even a powerful existence like Keel Whale Height can fight against 3 or 5 of these treacherous zombies at the moment. And there are hundreds of these zombies in front of him. If you use conventional means to attack and clean up, it is basically impossible. But if you use the serum card to fully open the way, then there is no problem. No matter how weird these zombies were, when they encountered the serum leaked from the serum card, they would run away like a mouse seeing a cat. The road has been opened. Get through. Hiss, awesome class. The disgusting zombies of those turtle sons have all avoided. Can you still do this? Fang Fan, you can do it. Bai Piao immediately jumped out, dancing excitedly. This road is open again. He can do it again. We can fly again. Kishizuoki couldn't help showing excitement on his face, and he was looking at Fang Fan with admiration. Brother Fang Fan, eternal God. Brother Fang Fan is definitely a man of great luck. Everything is left to Brother Fang Fan, it doesn't matter. Hiss. Too strong. Goisha licked his lips, then said deeply. This kind of thinking mode in the heart seems very strong. A sense of reality, gathered in an instant. Hurry up, don't dawdle. Quick pass. These zombies may make a comeback at any time. Fang Fan snorted secretly, then scanned the surroundings with cold eyes. At this moment, we must stabilize the overall situation, and there must be no negligence in the slightest. The risk factor has increased invisibly. Obey my lord. A group of soldiers and heroes of the Legion did not hesitate at all, and they did not love to fight at this moment, and rushed directly from the entrance of the 8th floor of the God of Disaster underground palace to the exit. As for the zombies that were bleeding pus, they would only raise their heads unwillingly, but seemed powerless. At this moment, the aggrieved feeling on the faces of these zombies is increasing. Gradually, a humanized angry expression appeared. The announcement of the Disaster God's underground palace has begun. Fang Fan successfully led the team through the 8th floor of the God of Disaster underground palace. Reward and artifact. Announcement, here we go again. This time, even more exciting. It exploded. Totally exploded. Artifact. Artifacts can be rewarded. This, what else can't you get? Everyone's eyes gathered here, and the brilliance in their respective eyes grew more and more. At the entrance of the Calamity God's underground palace, there was endless noise. An artifact. An artifact. It's really an artifact. The reward for passing the 8th floor of the Disaster God's underground palace is an artifact. Hiss, I don't know what kind of artifact it is. This is too awesome. Grass, labor and management also want artifacts. Just you. In the next life, Stop. It is said that there is an artifact hidden in the Temple of the Light Alliance and the Temple of Darkness, so the status of the two temples can always be as stable as Mount Tai. The value of the artifact is immeasurable. Everyone, put your mind to it. If that Fang Fan comes out right now, you must pay close attention to his movements. As long as you leave the vicinity of the Disaster God's underground palace, you will kill him. Kill him. He will do anything to seize the artifact. Cost. Gudong, you must not let this Fang Fan bring the artifact to the Temple of the Alliance of Light, otherwise our Dark Temple will be at a disadvantage in the future. Everyone understands the truth, so be steady. The existence of the artifact stung everyone's excited hearts. They looked at each other, each surging, their thoughts going crazy. They imagined how wonderful it would be if this artifact was in their hands. In this case, they will be able to take off directly. Such a picture is infinitely surprising. Hiss. I can't stand it anymore. Big Knife is already hungry and thirsty. Vent. Let it vent out completely. At the entrance of the God of Calamity underground palace, hundreds of thousands of pairs of eyes stared at it like this, for fear of letting a fly go. At this moment, they were as excited as if the artifact belonged to them.